some yo biasmo. Oni pada seni a won manwemu wo wi ase ha. Asam to nyonko na to baby anka mfa ho. Menso metene baby anka me pema yeden. Nanso wadoma nkoma bo ade ebo nipa bata nipa ho. Obi ada na nyonko. Yesu ensu ane yirasio. Obi a woni duma odidi bo a oman. Wokwana ni kosi na fro wa yukuni chechere ne ma. Biana ni koso ni ja. Obrechi ni kukodu fo eja wo mu ankuni maba. Aguna na wiri kwaba akasa no makasa French mo bie na no awobo ajo asana na ho febia woni bono so awira cheche okwane ne bane na sene ne ba ejo no bi no anta bie eja wo mu anami di asem asa chiri na no mpa no asem eja wo mu aso bi aba wodoma nkoma oba ade ehye yense yeni za woso eni je ni adrewo afe wonu e bi wi ase asonimu eba sa wo yira kwanso akire ne pampa no biasam yo biasmo. Oni pada seni a won manwemu wo wi ase ha. Asam to nyonko na to baby anka mfa ho. Menso metene baby anka me pema yeden. Nanso wadoma nkoma bo ade ebo nipa bata nipa ho. Obi ada na nyonko. Yesu ensu ane yirasio. Obi a woni duma odidi bo a oman. Wokwana ni kosi na fro wa yukuni chechere ne ma. Biana ni koso ni ja. Obrechi ni kukodu fo eja wo mu ankuni maba aguna na wiri kwaba akasa no makasa French mo bie na no awobo ajo asana na ho febia woni bono so awira cheche okwane ne bane na sene ne ba ejo no bi no anta bie eja wo mu anami di asem asa chiri na no mpa no asem eja wo mu asoma bia ba wodoma nkoma oba ade ehye yense yeni za woso eni je ni adrewo afe wonu e bi wi ase asonimu eba sa wa yira kwanso akire ne pampa no bi asem yo bi asmo oni pada sani a won manwemu wo wi ase ha asam to nyonko na to baby anka mfa ho menso metene baby anka me pema yeden nanso wadoma nkoma bo ade ebo nipa bata nipa ho obi ada na nyonko yesu ensu ane yirasio obi a woni duma odidi bo a oman wokwana ni kosi na fro wa yukuni chechere ne ma biana ni koso ni ja obrechi ni kukodu fo eja wo mu ankuni maba aguna na wiri kwaba akasa no makasa French mo bie na no awobo ajo asana na ho febia woni bono so awira cheche wokwane ne bane na sene ne ba ejo no bi no anta bie eja wo mu anami di asem asa chiri na no mpa no asem eja wo mu asoma bia ba wodoma nkoma oba ade ehye yense yeni za woso eni je ni adrewo afe wonu e bi wi ase asonimu eba sa wa yira kwanso akire ne pampa no bi asem yo bi asmo oni pada sani a won manwemu wo wi ase ha asam to nyonko na to baby anka mfa ho menso metene baby anka me pema
hinimio apunu hinimio apira mibo. Okay, nice one coming from the camp of Julius Koje LP Hinime. Hinime, bringing the time to 22 minutes to the top of the hour 7. My name is Nana Frimpong Ziega, Sani Efreme, Kessben Maakye Statement, and I'm today. The program is packed. Say the money now, money no. I'm Penny John Dramani Mahama. Washe say, Madam Justice, Chief Justice. Gertrude Tokono on Kwatinasi, and I say on Channel Hokakra, and no more sense somewhere. Yabaka could dimunch the Muye pa near Kwako Kusuadi in the shortest time. No, Yebenya a constitutional lawyer and lecturer, our CAF University, Mr. Raymond Bedema, Yebenya and Nian Komo Nesusono, and Yamia Domarakwa, Yamia Esraye. Yenya chairman of Council of Elders South Africa. Ewa hasei. Ewa studio ha no si yana be twen komo eye owura Benjamin Kwashi. Enso ebaba be kan se ne yene no won komo bebrebe. Abigidi esesa o mesia ebe hadwene papa. Sanso so na aban dwumadie fofra wade aba I friend the Feed Ghana program no. Eno so no yebedi hu komo yie pa ne ne owura Bright Dimozi, Bright Dimozi, Ebaba Beka is a former member of parliament at the Babotiano English man from or no any the coordinator at the national coordinator at the Massa program we see. Also Baba Beka sir na ya twetwe nkomo kola ta eko Facebook is here na kwachira wadwene number is 0 sorry facebook.com/KessbenFM and I say oko Facebook search for Kessben TV program be ya ba chira wadwene na yankenkan emfamao na Facebook betimi akọ WhatsApp number is 0550596929 0550596929. All right, quickly yankwa humana so na mene lawyer a constitutional lawyer and lecturer our CAF University Raymond Bedima etwetwe enkomo say good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Ziega. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks very much for joining us. Now, quickly tell us now the Chief Justice is been asked to say step aside. Tell us has the president gone through the legal process?
Thank you so much. Let me take the opportunity to also say good morning to your cherished listeners.
Thank you.
We have to take it down the the process that is involved. Actually, when there is a petition for the removal of the Chief Justice, what does the law say? If you go to Article 146, it is explicitly stated there is no ambiguity whatsoever as to how or the procedure. You know that in every democratically society, there is one doctrine of law we call constitutionalism. And it is the doctrine that has to do with where those elected into power, in the exercise of those powers that are entrusted in them, they must work within certain predetermined norms. And when I say predetermined norms, there are certain predetermined rules that those people must use. And so those predetermined norms are of three parts. We have that of procedural. And when we say procedural, there are certain processes that are laid down by the law that put a person into a particular office. So if the law provides for a thing or how something should be done, then that person must use those processes in doing that, and that is procedural. We have institutional and that of substantive limitations that are placed on those elected into offices. Now, if you look at what is in Article 146, it is more of procedural limitations that have been put on the president. And when I say procedural limitation, it means that the article actually provides for how a thing should be done. So for us to see whether or not there is legality or what the legal effect of what the president has done is for us to juxtapose that with what is in that provision. And the first thing we need to appreciate is that once a petition emanates from any person or any Ghanaian to the president for the removal of the Chief Justice, the first thing is to what? For the president, in consultation with Council of State, will determine, and even this one is not an express provision of the Constitution. It is actually a determination or a pronouncement that the Supreme Court has made in the case of Ajay Chum Ampofo and AG Mbaitakwete. That it is important, again, if it is the removal of the Chief Justice, for the president to determine whether or not there is a prima facie case against the Chief Justice. And I think that provision is actually to prevent the presentation of frivolous petitions to the president, so that it is a threshold that needs to be crossed before there is empanelment of the committee to hear the matter. So that not at any point in time where a frivolous petition is presented to the president, there will be empanelment of a committee to hear the matter. So once that threshold is crossed, then the next thing the Constitution provides is that the president must empanel, and after the empanelment, then the president has the discretion either to suspend the Chief Justice pending the determination of the petition, or the Chief Justice will continue while they will determine the matter.
Sir, Is that pattern an option that the president can do that, or he can choose to make the chief justice sit in the office and still appear before the panel, or is it mandatory that the chief justice has to step aside before he approach before the panel?
Thank you. The Constitution is again clear there. If you read Article 146, Clause 10, Article 146, Clause 10, the language of the Constitution there is may. The President may suspend the Chief Justice. So it means that he may or may not. But whichever way the President chooses to go, I think it is within the dictate of the Constitution, and that is legal.
So when you read Article 10, he says that it reads where
Article 146.
So 146 Clause 10. It reads where a petition has been referred to a committee under the article, the president may, in the case of Chief Justice, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State by warrant signed by him, suspend the Chief Justice. So in this case, can we say that the president did it in consultation with the Council of State?
That is a matter of fact to be determined whether or not he has actually done that in consultation, and that you and I, again, the Constitution make provision that whatever process that will be taken in the hearing of this matter must be in camera. So as to whether he has done that or not, it is an in camera matter, and you and I, we are not in the position to determine whether he has done that or not. All we know is that the president has actually, because in the first place we knew that the president has referred the matter to Council of State.
Okay, and so if the president referred the matter to the Council of State, in this case, we are aware that the Council of State know the reason why the petition, what the content of the petition that seeks the removal of the Chief Justice. Now, who might have sparked or triggered this removal? Is it the president of the Council of State?
No, we need to put matters in proper context. It is the president that the Constitution mandates to do same, only with consultation with Council of State normally.
Okay. So in this case, we cannot say that is the president. I mean, the fault is from the president, as the people been saying that the president, abusing the Constitution. But we can say emphatically say that the Council of State that made that step.
No, again, the school of thought that shows that the president is abusing the provisions of the Constitution have the right to seek interpretation and annulment of that from the Supreme Court. The Constitution is robust as to how, if somebody feels that a thing has been done wrongly, or the president has actually contravened any provision of the Constitution, we call those on prerogative right. You go under Article 2.1 and Article 130 of the 1992 Constitution, where they will declare the act unconstitutional and, for that matter, quash it. So for me, it is not within the right of anybody to run to the media space complaining and all that, because the provisions of the Constitution is clear as to what you need to do in that circumstance. You go to the Supreme Court. And going to the Supreme Court, for me, again, it is a legitimate cause for us to be able to determine as to whether a thing that has been done is constitutional. So it will only go a long way to better and enrich our legal jurisprudence.
I see. So this one can never be a coup, as the people are reclaiming.
Coup is a serious word. Coup is a serious word. I don't know why people think this is a coup. Then it means if this can be classified as a coup, then it means that I don't want to go there, because it will seek to say that the Constitution has made a provision for a coup d'etat. And I don't think any Constitution has done that, because the Constitution is against coup d'etat. So I don't think there is any coup in this country, and I don't think there is anything that is being done capriciously, under the circumstance until somebody goes to court for the Supreme Court to determine that this has been done in a manner that is not in tune with the Constitution.
All right. Now let's read the Article 146 clause 1. It states that a justice of superior court of courts or a chairman of a regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior or incompetence or ground of inability to perform the functions of his office arising from infirmity or body or mind. Now, we all understand the inability to perform his or her functions. We understand it, and also the incompetence. But when the Constitution says that stated misbehavior, if you are breaking it down to us, to the layman, what is the meaning or the definition of the stated misbehavior?
This is an interesting one. When the Constitution says stated misbehavior, I don't think that over the period the Supreme Court had the opportunity to interpret that. But of course, in the wisdom of the interpreters, I think that what will actually not inure to the benefit of the office of the Chief Justice should be a stated misbehavior. Anything that is done that contravenes the office of the Chief Justice is actually a misbehavior, right? So you are put, or a party is put in an office to do ABC. Now, in the exercise of your duties, instead of doing ABC, you are doing other things that contravene the reason you are put there will amount to misbehavior. That is contrary to why you are there.
So that is the stated misbehavior. That's the meaning.
To the best of my knowledge.
So it means that the Chief Justice falls within these three: the inability to perform her function, the incompetence, and stated misbehavior. So now we can rule out the inability to perform.
No, we can't. As it stands now, Mr. Ziega, we cannot, because the matter has not been determined.
Oh, okay.
It is only on the face of the petition that they have established that there is a legal contention that needs hearing, meaning of establishment of prima facie case. As to whether or not on the face of the petition it raises any legal or any contentious matter. If yes, then there is the need for that to be heard. Now, nobody has entered or have gone through the petition, no determination, and I don't think at this point they have even heard from the Chief Justice. It is now that process will be triggered in, and they will hear the Chief Justice and see whether or not what the petitioner has brought has anything contrary, and for that matter, there should be removal. And so the suspension of the Chief Justice also is not the end of the matter. Mean that her case is gone, so she may not be reinstated if at the end of the hearing nothing is established against her.
So after everything, and if it appeared that the Chief Justice has to go, can the Chief Justice go for an appeal? Well,
appeal, because where they are appeal to, I don't think the Constitution has provided for that. But there are always the opportunity for somebody to go to, maybe not appeal, but may go to the Supreme Court for Supreme Court to say that what the act that has been done is in contravention of the provisions of the Constitution. In that case, yes. But then, as it stands now, I don't think the provision of the Constitution made a way where Chief Justice is removed in this manner, then you can go for an appeal. No, it is not. But I think that like I said earlier on, with regards to the prerogative rights under Article 2.1 and Article 130 of the 1992 Constitution, they may, she may, or someone else may go if they feel that something has been done in contravention of the provisions of the 1992 Constitution.
All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Raymond Bidima. constitutional lawyer, a constitutional
Always
lawyer,
a pleasure to be
a
on this
lecturer
show.
at the CAF University. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
Thank you too.
All right, thank you. All right, I said abidika e kachire mo no. Yenya Ura Benjamin Kwashi, chairman of the Council of Elders our South Africa National Democratic Congress, our studio Hasi. We are blessed this morning. Say good morning. Me congratulate you. Congratulations.
Boss, morning,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Now quickly tell us were you now?
No, I was not able to make it, but I followed the entire event.
Okay. So the Kwau Business Forum. This is the new thing to us. Who is saying?
No, I think the whole concept, the Honorable Julius Deborah, our Chief of Staff, is trying to push and say we need to encourage businesses. And you say your brothers and sisters from Kwau have always been top and astute business people. So his whole idea is to bring them together, ensure that they can mentor people, ensure that they can get support from banks. During the event, and I'm told, say people mounted. A friend told me, say, not all your business be or China, but during the Kwau summit, he had the opportunity of speaking to a bank who says that we have a whole desk in our bank that deals with people who want to do businesses in China. So the bank will deal with the business entities in China for you, whilst you also deal with the bank. And I think, say, it is a very laudable initiative. Nana, and I'm sure, say, what the Honorable Julius Deborah sought to achieve is to ensure, say, we grow a lot of businessmen. Is to ensure that the banks in themselves also provide the needed capital and incentive for business people. Nana, when say banks is here as the sort of things, the litany of things, or maybe so as a Fabrano, it makes it very difficult. And I'm sure, say, this is one of the reasons why he brought everybody together, especially from Kwau. I am 100% in support and believe in, say, one day, other regions will also replicate the same thing.
But it means that the program is called Business Forum.
Yes.
But who said no, baby, I didn't We said that in the first edition, maiden edition, I was said no. I didn't new say Business Forum, but it should be a national thing.
Yes.
I do be able to come on board to development.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you look at President Maakye's statement, that is a statement of a visionary leader.
Yeah.
The fact say this is in Kwau. He's made it so clear. Said the idea behind it and how successful our event was. He believes that we should replicate it in all the country. And I just said that as well. Say other regions will have to come on board and grow. This is a homegrown initiative. I think say the Honorable Julius Deborah is doing this because we say there are a lot of potentials that business people in Kwau can bring together to help in the development of the country.
So how it is about business moguls, businessmen.
Yes.
So you be maybe for example be a businessman. It will be a Makola, and I say will be a KGT, and a Central Market. Me qualify say me apply, and I see a frame.
I know you apply.
You apply.
So Nana, you see what he sought to achieve. And say, for example, today a lot of business people who are coming from Kwau and their business that they are into. First, I knew the businesses that they were into, but I didn't know that they were coming from Kwau. And so it's an avenue, say, Obi or Makola, like you are saying, we'll speak to the secretariat that has organized this brilliant initiative and help BIS here, the man. I'm sure the channels will be there for them to go through it, yes.
So, and we know so and yet, say, Obi a sebi, what tebro phone kwa, nasi wa kusku actually, but be a businessman, na me shene say, ebia my employ nipa be business ebumi me pe kwan bia business strategies bia me wa betimi aboa Ghana mo ho kwan se me call na me so metimi akwa me apply ko se bia ye kakasa no so na I'm not being bind that mentimi kam krom kasa enfantro.
Nana won't say I have said that the best business brains are people that are not educated.
Yeah.
There are people that are not educated. business, I am an entrepreneur. So when I say this, I say it with passion.
Yeah.
Because I've met people who have propelled my business that don't have any qualification from the university. These are people who have completed JHS. These are people who have completed SS.
Yeah.
So it is how you put together the thoughts that makes you an astute business person. In the last 21st century, say everything is about education, unya degree, unya diploma, unya where you can't do anything. But before then, I remember the late Nelson Mandela in his book Long Walk to Freedom. No can say, in all his entire existence and all the education he had as a lawyer, as a human rights, you know that that quality education he had, when he became president, he never applied one.
Wow.
Yes. If you read Long Walk to Freedom, he said he never applied one. What he applied was the homegrown leadership skills that his late mother and father gave him. And they were not educated. They taught him how to lead cows. And in leading cows, they showed him how to do it. And so when he had crisis, and so when you read that portion that says this about Mandela, he says that is why he took a different stand from Oliver Tambo and the other ones are Okoye negotiation with the white apartheid government then. And so you would realize it is not always about education. Now, media Makase, with what President Mahama has decided to do, for example, with the Women's Bank, who say we are concerned and we are happy to help people at that bottom level. Mamina or Makola, Mamina or Malata market, Mamina or KJT market, and that's a whole market. These are the people that we want to grow and make sure say the economy booms for Ghana.
Yes, I read a book. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in there, or say I go to market when people are leaving market. And I leave market when people are going to market. That's the business strategy. So in this case, say maybe I'm a businessman. My grow. It me kwa na ma je microphone na ma church the choir fast so me grow. My system they said I buy better piano. That is the forum all about.
Yes. And not only that. So come up with the brilliant. One say startups in Western lands, your baby startups. So you see me say maybe I have a farm that deals in chickens. Then there's another gentleman that has a farm that deals in cows. This is how startups are brought together. Then they are funded. So 3 businesses come together. They come together with all those ideas. They embed it together. And at the end of the day, what they will achieve together, those 3 is far bigger and better than what one person would have achieved. I think this is what the Kweku Forum is about. Collective reasoning, collective support for businesses, collective support for entrepreneurship development. Because behind the NDC agenda, we have said, it is not about growing people who become civil servants. No, we say that the country's economy will grow when we have a lot of entrepreneurs. So everything that this government is doing is to ensure, entrepreneurial skills, and those people with the enterprises, like individual enterprises, self-employed, those are the people that we want to encourage and empower. So that once we empower them, the economy grows. Nobody will want to wait and go into government employment. Everybody can say, if I have this ABC idea, I'll run to the Women's Bank, take a loan, and be able to achieve it.
Just like former World Bank President Worthington told President Kofi to strengthen the private sector. Say private sector be stronger. It's far better than a bit more grew.
Of course. In other parts of the world, for example, in South Africa, typical. There's no government official that is rich. These are people that are entrepreneurs. Even the current sitting president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, he has a lot of franchises. McDonald's, other companies like Bidvest. There's a Bidvest company that deals with vehicles and other things, and he has shares in it. So before he became the president, he was an entrepreneur, and he ensures that he excelled and excelled well. And I think we need to in Ghana, once there's a businessman that is doing well, we all want to pull the person down. We all want to tag the person, a politician where he's from this party or he's from that party. And I think it has not helped us in growing our economy. So going forward, I think we all have to rally behind. Madam Fubiye Juma South Africa, Mrs. South Africa, Nigeria. Now, I say who could do some of the airports, the private airports, and you see, this private jets of business people in Nigeria and how they help each other. I think, like the Archbishop Duncan Williams said, we should stop this and rather grow our country, grow the business people to ensure our children that will come after us will know we did a lot of businesses that benefited not only us but the entire country.
Can we do it in a way be an act send your be a baby bar on basis system no because a baby when any swadi we or person grow the private sector no now will raise more entrepreneurs to strengthen the economy. That's fine. But the Kwawu Business Forum no a big grad to a level be for the next 4 years because every year they will do it. After another government will come then. No, I bet discouraging the crowd when say, "Wa bet shakra sa from Kofobina." Yes, I bet start afresh. Can we do an actor a bit me a share and say in Afibiano it has to go? We have to go to Kwawu for this. Say the baby intimacy.
I think we should look at it not being a duplication of ideas. We have the National Development Planning Commission. The sole aim of this under the constitution is that they plan the development of Ghana. Everything goes through them. There's an act in parliament that supports this National Development Planning Committee. So Okofa Kwewudi said there should be an act that binds on government. I think we'll have duplicity. What I think we can do, like the president said, it should be a national event, and this national event can be brought under the National Development Planning Committee. And like you said, I believe, strongly, such things, this is what makes a country. So I believe, if it is possible, and we would all come together, devoid of the political machinations. So, Julius Zebra started at the NDC need, then an MPP person comes next year or next 20 years when they come to government, then they'll say, we're also going to stop it because Julius Nedebaye. No, we should look at the end result. We should look at the benefit idema. And I believe, if Parliament, we are going for the constitutional review. Me, I sure the committee will present their reports to the president. And I think, with the majority that President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC have in Parliament, this is the time for us to ensure that there are reforms, there are things that are done in a proper way, not to benefit only NDC. Say, Nana, if we make a mistake and misuse the majority that we have in Parliament and do things that Ghanaians will not benefit, it will be a shame on us. And when Ghanaians get angry with us, it will be worse than what the MPP suffered. So I'm believing, whatever it is, we'll replicate it and ensure, it will benefit Ghana for you now.
Yes, that's fantastic because Julius Debra, I remember vividly when he was a local government minister. Also, initiative clean up exercise every last Saturday of every month.
Yes.
But I bind the bar now, but there's something that I can bet me. Aboy see Shemukin and Bedu say. We talk about the Chief Justice. A year and I'm doing command out here. But tell us 90 days of President Mahamad's government. Who say
I think the
be sincere despite that
I think the president has done what most people didn't believe that he was going to be able to do.
What are some of the things?
I think that those taxes that the president said he was going to abolish, we had people who believed no, he was not going to be able to do it. Betting tax is gone, e-levy is gone. There are other taxes as well that are gone. President Mahama indicated within the shortest period of time, he would ensure he has a compact with the Ghanaian people. That social contract that he had with the people. Nana, you can be so happy and rest assured, the good people of Ghana are enjoying what they voted for. Nana, and classical artists, yesterday, refreshing, we heard news that some of these mining firms are mining in our forest reserves. Most of them have been arrested. There was a call by the Honorable Muntaka, we should ensure, you best some police heads are what this places of the Galamsey, and yesterday I realized that the IGP has reassigned most of them because you see they have become complacent. And then it twats their mindset as to ensuring Galamsey becomes a thing of the past. Nana, the only challenge that I believe the NDC has encountered in these few months, is how to manage the expectations of our teaming supporters, especially the young people. And so that is where I always tell myself and all the young people, say, let's take our time. Let's ensure, say, we roll out the 24-hour economy. Because remember, that is our flagship program. You believe it will become the game changer. Now, you don't just rush into it. I know, say, the mechanisms, the steps that needs to be taken so that you start 24-hour economy now, it will move in the right direction and with that speed that we believe that it will. And Youth and Employment President Mahama has indicated time without number, say it's a matter of national security and it's a matter of concern to him. Aside that, where we believe, say, we should do more, I think that the NDC is doing very well. There was a report or a survey by the Global Info Analytics, and the indicators that over 58% believe that we are in the right direction. And I think, Senana, this doesn't call for celebration. This calls for us to have level heads, cool heads, and ensure, say, a bit deliver on the mandate the good people of Ghana demand.
All right, Kessben 92.9, Namasugusu Amutiana, Kessben TV, DSTV channel 364, Go TV channel 121, Obehumi FM, Nana Frimpong Ziega, Kessben Maakye Jumedieni Sabre is 8:11. Na Yura Kwashi Benjamin Kwashi, chairman of the Council of Elders, South Africa, NDC, and I'm to see an FM command. Now the Chief Justice's issue now we interview anamene yes Papa or CAF FM command. Now the Chief Justice removal, there's a process. I guswa but yet as my penny say one tenacity. But the Constitution is sure my penny so bet me I said. How do you take the whole exercise? The Chief Justice on call on tena you be a Canadian.
Now I think say the Chief Justice, if I were the Chief Justice, I don't think I would have waited till this time, because Nana won't say, we always say something. And you see, what the Chief Justice is going through is a direct result of the recklessness of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo when he was president. What is happening to the Chief Justice now? Nana, when the NDC came to campaign, what did we tell the good people of Ghana was the qualification of our president or our flag bearer then, now president? Did we tell the good people of Ghana that John Mahama is a lawyer? No. Did we tell the good people of Ghana that John Mahama is a student of the law?
Even a communication expert.
We have always said, President Mahama is a communicator. That is his field. But we voted for a man that we said was an astute lawyer. We didn't say he was just a lawyer. This thing that all the MPP lawyers are rushing to the press, granting interviews and that, their hypocrisy is that they should walk to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's house in Nima and tell him that his recklessness is what has brought this. And now, I'll expand. And now, say one of the MPs was saying, if Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo did it and it was wrong, what gives President John Dramani Mahama the right to also do the wrong thing, because this is a matter of interpretation. This is a matter of the Constitution. Okay. Nana,
so what did he do wrong? And the worker said reckless.
Nana, on May 9th, 2018, President Akufo-Addo suspends 4 High Court judges. Charlotte Osei, former EC boss, was sacked by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Nana, look at the Auditor General, Domelevo. Where were these lawyers, almost lawyers of conscience? Where were they? Was their consciences sleeping at that time? Nana, we had a president who said, we all believe there was a lawyer. And when he was doing things wrong, Nana, they all sat down, looked at this man, ran this country to the ground, said nothing. And then, Yekachiro said, you are setting a bad precedent. Because at that time they were in government, it was so jolly for them. They were so happy about it, did what they want to do. And sure, Nana would say, Ghanaians want to have a court of the land that the beer we can predict their ruling. Nana, who says that? Look at the composition of the Supreme Court. Apart from one appointee from John Mahama and one appointee from the time of President Kufuor. All the other 14 or 13 were appointed by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
So what's wrong with it?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. The same way there's nothing wrong with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo appointing those people, there's nothing wrong with President Mahama sacking them. Look, I believe that the whole Supreme Court, every single one of them should go home. That's what I believe. Because, Nana, we have been in a country where the judiciary has become an albatross on the neck of the good people of Ghana. The judiciary, rather, is where we should be running to as Ghanaians, but we were not able to run there. Nana, where a Chief Justice can wake up in the morning and say, Parliament is not sitting, so there's a constitutional crisis. So why a ruling that should hang on the necks of Parliament? But this same Chief Justice, when members of the NDC, then in opposition, takes cases to her, she doesn't empanel people, but she was able to empanel the Supreme Court to take a decision and say the Speaker of Parliament has created a constitutional crisis. Nana, what the Chief Justice has done.
So was she wrong at that time?
Yes, she was wrong. Who says that we have separate arms of government? What makes the Chief Justice think, she has an upper hand over the legislature? What makes the Chief Justice believe, Parliament, Parliament will do it. But when Parliament tells her something to do, she runs to the president. So you see, the three arms of government, why I tell people, Nana Addo Dankwa is a president that should never happen again in any part of the world. And they Nana Addo made sure, the Supreme Court was an extension of the executive branch of his government. And it being the extension of the executive branch of his government, they were always doing things a bit pleasing Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Nana, this is where we have gotten to. The Chief Justice is gone. The Chief Justice is going because of the recklessness of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Believing, he was more human. Nana, utie the people, most of the MPP folks are more kasana. All they are saying is, the judiciary should rise. There's a coup d'etat. The judiciary should do what? The judiciary should do this. Nana, the way Charlotte say is now a past EC boss, who was suspended by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Gertrude Tokono is a suspended Chief Justice of this country. They can do their worst, but then at the end of the day, the presidents have established a prima facie case based on his consultation with the Council of State. And the president, so people are saying the president is vindictive. John Mahama, then you don't know him. John Mahama is not happy seeing Chief Justice going, but John Mahama is following the precedent. Look, whether you like it or not, it was one of the reasons why the good people of Ghana gave us that massive landslide victory. Simple reason being that President Mahama on the campaign trail indicated, the judiciary was not fair. We believe that it needs reform. The Ghanaian people bought into the idea and they gave us over 50-something% vote to ensure, Nana, will apply and ensure that the Supreme Court does what is right. And I'm sure, this is just the beginning, and we cannot thank President Mahama enough. We believe, this is the beginning for all the reset agenda that we are all looking forward to.
Now, Kase say President Mahama, he just, setting the precedents, and or the SR, and no political, I don't know how to put it, but say
political chess game.
Yes, say ubi ayibi na meso page. Chichire say me yibi ma and they appease the people of NDC intina be SR.
When Nana Addo did it, or the RPC MP before.
Oh, but we are not talking about Nana Addo. If Nana Addo did it, because what kind of sad it means that what the president is doing is not good, but he just want to, replicate what Nana Addo did, said to satisfy or massage the ego of some people.
Okay, so let me tell you what the president did. The president ensured he followed the 1992 Constitution of the Republic.
That is the process.
The president ensured there was a petition. The president ensured he went to the Council of State. That is what the Constitution says.
Yeah.
After that, the president didn't leave it there. The president asked the Chief Justice to respond to those allegations. She did.
Yeah.
The president didn't say the response or you Chief Justice or no Council of State or the Amomo. Council of State upon deliberation. Council of State, remember, they are coming out also from the Constitution of the Republic.
Yeah.
So Council of State have also come out to say there's a prima facie case against the Chief of Staff, the Chief Justice. And then what wrong did the president do? He did nothing wrong. The president has followed all the steps. What I am saying is, when our friends in the NPP tell us that tomorrow is pregnant, I'll tell them that pregnancy that they see only now, no, they did it in 2018.
Then we are going back to the same. We are not
going back. What we are doing now is that once we've done this, Chief Justice is gone. I believe the Electoral Commission also should go. Once we are done, we'll start the reform process where the constitution now that we all believe needs an upgrade or needs an overlook. We all as Ghanaians go to change the constitution. I believe, Nana, if we don't do it this way, there is a party in this country that feel that they are more Ghanaian. Look, yesterday I realized that our friends and brothers from the NPP, the way they were talking, they are bitter. And I'm telling them that this is just the beginning. If the constitution states that we should be able to erase certain people with certain titles, I'm sure the NDC will gladly do that. Because at the end of the day, Nana, this is a country that belongs to all of us. Let it not be there's a select few or believe they are more Ghanaian than the other. And this is what the NDC, this is the NDC we voted for. This is the party that was founded by Jerry Rawlings. Because at the end of the day, we've been timid, we've been doing father for all, we've been taking advantage of. Today, Nana, Kwewu Summit. President John Dramani Mahama went to the house of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to greet him. When Nana Addo was president for 8 years, the only time Nana Addo started smiling with John Mahama was when John Mahama won and there was a transition. Nana, look at all the videos. Look at all the pictures. This is a president or commission any other thing that John Mahama's name. When say one commission UGMC till he left. Why? Because he will go there and say this project was started by John Mahama. So he didn't commission it. So I would even tell President Mahama that he should slow down with always being with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, because Nana, we in the NDC fought for this hard-won victory because we believe everything about Nana Addo was very wrong. It's he should. Nana, you see, I have not done this before, but it's so nauseating, especially look at social media, and you hear people, quoting laws, and Masemne say, where were they when Nana Addo Dankwa was doing the wrong thing? They were not there. Afenyo Markins is organizing press conferences and saying, the judiciary should rise up. Nana, what him say on the current Supreme Court justices? So what kind? Who is the eldest on the bench? It's not Justice Bafoboni. Didn't Akufo-Addo bypass him to give it to Gertrude Tokon?
So Bafoboni has come back.
You see, when God wants to...
So is it
when God wants to change the status quo, he does it in a way that he shows off about it. That is God for you. I'll give you 3 examples. Today, Bafoboni is chairing a committee that is going to have a decision on the Chief Justice. In that committee, you have Yao Domelevo, somebody who was dismissed by Akufo-Addo, and Gertrude Tokonu couldn't do what was right then. The third one, when you go to National Identification Authority, Nana, you remember there was a man there called Professor Atefua. He sacked a gentleman called Yaya Koku for one basic reason, that the Yaya Koku years back had criticized Alhaji Bawumia. So he wrote a letter. Professor Atefua wrote a letter.
Was that the ground?
Yes.
Open ground.
Oh, that was the ground. Atefua. Yes. Open ground. That is the letter. I can get you a copy of the grounds. Was that Yaya Koku had said disparaging things about Nana Addo's government. So he cannot work for that government. So he was dismissed. Today, Yaya Koku is a CEO of the National Identification Authority. Where's Ken Atefua? He's home. So God has a way of doing his things. And if I were the MPP, I'll sit down, do an introspection, and realize, we took the Ghanaian people for granted and they've paid us back. Okay. And God has made it happen.
Yeah. Unse president ni your person justice tokono. In fact, a lot of people commentaries are bad. A majority media people are not happy with it.
Which people?
Oh, I have listened to a couple of people.
They are all MPP.
The commentary. Okay,
they are all MPP people.
So, Mr. Dumlevel, you mentioned Mr. Dumlevel.
Yeah.
Dumlevel and the remover, no. We made to understand, say, any age, or forcing cases, any age.
Okay.
So it was all over the place.
Okay.
And the reason, we were known to it. Okay. Madam Charlotte was say, at the end, the consent.
Don't rush from Yaudome level. Don't leave Yaudome level and go to Madam Charlotte to say.
No, I can't nabo.
But why you verdict on Dome level? But look at
I'm not the verdict.
Oh, you've not done the verdict.
No.
Oh, okay.
I never. Me person me say.
Okay.
Omo me who say any age entina.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And Madam Charlotte was saying no.
Yeah.
Concerned workers of Electoral Commission.
Do you know their names?
They were there. In fact,
you know their names.
Oh, said Madam the deputy EC boss,
yes.
On the queen.
Yes.
Office when me refinity kakra.
Mameno.
Yeah, they were all part of this concern workers of EC.
Okay.
Petition mamene say.
Yeah.
One procurement breaches a lot of stuff and
yes.
on about team will be a huni.
Okay.
Now we are removing this chief justice. I catch a mixed reaction. And on Kenya Papa they will find. The president constitution is a man who can say obet me a the kuntia we the chief justice. But based on this, send your bay and call for I didn't catch a mixed reaction. I didn't president and yet the reason why he's removing the chief justice. Though the constitution a man who can say or power bed or the bed to draw power and you understand? But send your bay will be a better than one say Nian Kase we are certain a bad president said yeah I could for ye beer mumu free say enyam a beer and no be no person your person pay them back na raise that perception once and for all.
Let me start with Dome level. The same Supreme Court now there was this frivolous allegation say he was older than his age and whatever gave him a ruling now vindicating and said the president shouldn't have sacked him. Do you know that?
Yeah.
So it means that the president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo he got it wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody called him to order because he was the commander-in-chief and the president at that time. Nana, in the history of the MPP, the 8 years history of the MPP, tell me one day that the Attorney General had a press conference to tell us about reasons why he has done this or reasons that he has done that before. We have an Attorney General now. The Honorable Dominic Ayeni. He comes to the press and tells you what he's doing and how he's doing this. This should give you a full glimpse that President Mahama would ensure, say, whatever is in that petition that asked for the removal of the Chief Justice, if it is something that is to be shared with the public will know. That I can tell you. Say, President Mahama will not hide and say, so we saw Professor Kweku Aza's petition or the Akufo-Addo that time. And Akufo-Addo, when he was responding to it, he didn't even mention the gentleman's name. So that it means that there are certain things that they keep secret and there are certain things that they can expose. What I'm saying is, Nana, the same way there were people that raised petition against Charlotte Osei, it is the same way that people have raised petition against the current Chief Justice. What I am saying is that, Nana, we have come far as a country. When this is done and the dust is settled, Nana, we'll realize, MPP's 8 years has taught the NDC one thing, that we are all Ghanaians. Until you make them realize, what oppression they cause us, they should also feel the pain. Nana, governance is not about emotions. No, we are not talking about emotions. What happened yesterday, Nana, it is something that you cannot even say, the president did anything wrong. The president has done nothing wrong. The suspension, it was a process for the Chief Justice. Technical, Nana, only lawyer Yika say, lawyer no was quoting the Constitution. I heard you also quoting the Constitution.
Yeah.
So what is it? We started having this problem with our brothers from the NPP when we were telling people, go home. Your employment were done illegally. They said, no, you should put them there. And we were telling them that when Safo Mafo was doing it, where were you? And then they say, oh no, you don't do the same thing. Nana, let's also make the mistake. When we do the mistake, just like they did it, we'll come back. You better rectify. Then we'll have a constitutional review. We'll ensure that the constitution is redefined. Make sure everything about what the Ghanaian want to know, that is what should be there. But Nana, politics is a very complex thing.
Yeah.
If John Dramani Mahama makes a mistake, and which he has clearly not made. He has ensured, say, all the things that he promised that he was going to do, no, he's doing them. Because the people that gave him that mandate, Nana, they gave him an overwhelming mandate for him to be able to do the things that we believe that he should do. And Nana, is at the beginning, Chief Justice is gone. Like I have said, if I were the other justices of the Supreme Court, I would just write.
No, she been asked to step aside.
Yes, yes. Step aside. No, will follow with go away. it will follow with go away. That process in the whether you like it or not, it will follow with go away. And then when it follows with go away, our brothers and sisters in the MPP will cry. We'll give them handkerchiefs to wipe their tears. And when we are done, we'll go back to the Constitution for a review. That would ensure, say, we don't repeat these mistakes again.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Nancy na penyibi boa basopa or boa basopa na me dese and send your sisi boa basofa. What justify the reason why na all boa basono? Ye ko na ye kwa kobo ye ibizia. What do I need this to you? But okay, Akufo-Addo Asebi. Let me come back there. If mene Dr. Kwame Adokofo Nantepe, he told me that a bambien who are bar when ya 1 minute, a minute. I'll be castle wanya sheda. Tell me, what in Akufo-Addo's government? A deba dear pa beer canoma munibi or yeah. It was good for this country.
Well, I wouldn't take the free SHS away from the Nana-Addo administration. The fact that the implementation was not well thought through, the idea of free SHS was brilliant. It was a program that helped a lot of households. Despite the challenges, I know families whose kids have benefited from it, and you cannot take that credit away from the MPP. You cannot take it away from President Nana-Addo, ex-President Nana-Addo. When you use the spin test road, the new one that passes through Manette,
Flowerpot,
and then the one that passes through Flowerpot. Anytime I pass there, it is one thing I say that the beauty of it, the quality of it, you cannot take it away from Nana-Addo. This is something that Nana-Addo's administration did. You asked me to mention two, and me share two Nana mention. So
all right, thank you very much, Mamencha Honorable Elvis Efiankra. Now I say no obo abaso baby. Now me person me bonidi, but yes, he likes you very much. He says this hard man. This man very such a hard working man, very hard working. The voice there, So baby will be Honorable Elvis Efiankra. Me chacha yes, what's your suffer? All right, Sabrina. Obi a wenya prostate, obi a wenya prostate. The aye cancerous. Say cancerous. Safi ne eba. O Jonsa, one says, see, Anna Jonsa Sado. What thou sorrow Jonsa, I was so na me no me debinyesa. Okay. You will not draw. Nadia, ya sure Katika Cranwa. Ya man, and 35 years, and do I to them. You will not draw. Now, or Batampa, Papano, Ubi the chain the drone, the whole gun will be. No West Africa cry, say, Kofi Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Naba, Ebebejaya, some of G, Ujoma Katika, say. A ye cancerous cry, a ye deeper ye declare one. Fanoko Batampa walk aswa. Na me bebo video be the achiro or maba. Me bebo the achiro. Take your time and listen to them. Na unimobia or what a ye friend say a year a prostate. Just take the person to or Batampa. So just watch him.
Each year for me and the or my Jimre and Kessben and the pay. Said the yin and no about Tampa Protest Center. A human says, protect ya Yankoa. And no Yanko, I do me on my own, a drew 82 ya then I said that in and no. And tis an opinion wa now and who was some non common a baby. And the ten say prostitute ya dear, I am mamma. Mamma Kwana Yomo. Titu remember the best of 40 years echo. Na no po ye ka prostitute a hunama kwa bia e beta ejunso twa no ho na anumu na dudu ban ya ejunso ko ye bemba mu no enam na ngopon ye mama because ewo ejuma bia edie ni ejuma edie ni se oba ne bemba hia sa suspense no ba oba no ho ba bemba ne bemba mu be ko oba no ho a prostitute ni nso bi boa suspense se de be ye betumi nante ama no hwa ya akọ ayi na juma se de efata enu ti mama nkwa na nkopon bo ma ye na saa honam akwa no ene honam akwa npadue mu a ewo ho a anu atumi hono ehono abo frɛ no enlargement na ehono a edinsusu pii na ma nipa nsusu kura wi ko wi sɛ ebetumi agye nkwa efunsam na nsusu edi kan pa ne sɛ ba ma wagye so pii anajo sɛ positive no hono a ma wagye so pii anajo oju ekutatu aso saa bedu baby no afese junso kan na se wa ma ho anya ha na ojunso agu ho nti se ojunso kan wa se ntampa na se otumi junso instant no a ana so se ewumu a junso kan na ko jansa ojunso a ebe family kakra ai se de junso mpese eba no be chim kakra san junso na ba ewumu a ojunso a junso na ahonde ewo junso na chi enka se de junso na ba no na swate ne se bidu ka se pressure di akire no akofom omua behena junso kan na se junso wetua kan Kessben wonti se junso kan wonso na wajunso agu ho ana so se betuma ma osisi ayo ya omama sam betuma akofom betuma ma wajunso boja na saa nsunsanso we ina no didim saa bedu baby no na fe na ojunso na kawaya so one day udakro beso so ojunso na junso na kawaya se na esese edo hospital na show rubber na saa ya de we ya de bia abofo nse de ni ho aduro a tu ase o hospital aduro a homa abofo aye a de hwe no tamsulosin hydrochloride ana finasteride saa ya aduro menu de ni se manage junso no a ema ojunso pii no nti se ukọ eba ne saa ne se u pentam ko hospital saa ya de do ne ma de ma wa enu nche se etu ya ye na se relax muscles na wo bladder no ni prostate gland no mu se de be ya ojunso na ojunso pii no eden asobete amna kofom tu ahwe ni obejuso ya ma wadu am ho ato ho nto prostate se abubu no beka se enshrink ya uti ya na se because kase na aye nti etwa se eden ajuju ba form ansana na hu aduro de eni hosa enu aduro ena na nu nyankopon aye madoma ma mu aduro a shrink prostate na aye kase no ama sansusu so amobodi ni na no eden aka wo no nti se wonum aduro no a de ene se ajuju efensen prostate na aye kase no ama ni sini kwanda dam na fe na junso na ojunso pii ni nsusu mabodi ni na eden ni na afiro na chese yade waden etu ase ena mama ye batampa process center ede musonko because most of the time when you ba makache no be did as eba obuka tumbu sam say doctor na yade we nya sunsumu yade na ma hwe ndi mabusan ma hwe ni ndi aka chense de be sunsumu because me say I didn't know bisam sa o say o start mo chinchin be wakọ bebi bebre anonu mdo bebre so yade na eden se enko ena ma che ne se ampa ehun aduro eni ho simple sa na we na enkopo amam ho adom a amam aduro a me de hwe abanfo nti waba ha ho beto ampa so mama na aduro beko no na aye adansidie na anigye nti de kakra metumi aka ne sesi ane se obi biala wo sa tibe se nsunso ma bobodin se wo ta tibe man se wa hospital ya scan no am so wo prostate a man ku ba bia pamachi akwan manyen onitifo angoka se bia o ene yanumfo no aba omundo omo anu de ejiji kofo sika niti madwin se bia saa so na metie da bi wo ba makachi a mamu aduro nyame adom wo beto ma positive na ekase na be twetwen amna bo we need to oba be test o e be scan e machines wo e be scan we scan wa wo be hu meka result na akire mamu aduro kono mba so a e be scan wo be hu so positive na den abafom entino menya akofisam bi na medi no kura pa won ye ba makachi ni nim saa no kura ya making ti sa wo saa ti bi mu a man ko ba bi ap machi akwan de bia meka se obi wo prostate na obi wo prostate na obi chewe o chemi machi akwan a achade kase pa obi tumi da ma wono no because enya easy saa so obi nya obi a also opposite duro a dudu na kase opposite duro enye edoni ejeje adwudwi efense jonso ana adwudwi anu but supposed to be shrink normalize the baby Kofi bra ba manche obi kwa oba onu akwa ni test baby no oja ba oba mi say okay na mama ne do ko ba ya ko ono san ko test me ka doc sofu bi o ba na ono ne ba ye nurse ndo on ba no omo ye scan ne ba ye o ba na me hwe scan no so okay 148 centimeter cube inside ne kase no and I'm so okay mama ne do ko ye da krom wo hwa obe oni nuanu mi ka sofu no ho aba omani age oba am so omo madu no wie no test ye no aba 98 na che eba form se papa no last time oba why enti no o me trasa me kasa me wo positive dura me kasa me bo can with the conviction say no krasa me dura me supposed to no what me kan men town twama yade no endodo enkwani mu bebrebe ansa na waba what me kan yayi Panamona bra oba ombeto me no my 0553 800 678
0553
800 678 and since na me wo your friend saying kaswa yenya no kaswa yenya no kan kwantempo so be di 50 prat last stop oba ombeto na se me kama obi ata se post to no yade ada form yade ekuni papa eti se na de me hu ni se esanse hu adu ni enye eni ho saa ni ntino se post start wa ati se de wudini atun etuo e wo so se oposo obo otuo wotwu mutan obekun because yade no wo chinchin a wunya anu aduro de yanti de man de bia me ka se obi so opposite do chen me oboa e na bia me ka se Africa omo yi nipa 3 opposite adura meka ho bi because adura tumi sink positive ma normalize there enye that simple since I ultimate kan yen se bia me demano na kan se me check keke me kan ni bisu se wo ba ho beto unu ufie bi ana papa bi una na bi wadanfo bi unue bi so Saturday tibemia fam no ma no 0553 800 678 0553 800 678 na fa no ma no se sia ye wo branches ye wo no agents Kumasi
okay
person de Kumasi ni Western region no ma wo Kumasi no ma ni 0249 another 49 61 66 0249 another 49 61 66 the Western region no manie 0246 04 34 58 0246 04 34 58 obi anfa sa no mensa mda mamui na obi a wuti so obi wo sa tibe mu a esi akwese esanse yade ni yaduro sa ni ntino dodo na wo ho a yado no edokro omo a omuni boafo ti wuti menka phenomenon mo bia unim so was at be mu said be ya be boa madasa was at be be film because ya den kodewo pa nti se woti wo sat be mu a men fan dia fo fan tutu fom woti men kabra na wo ba wo beto wo ba be test o amodro wa wo tun se wo start do no na wo be hu se wa wo beto wo de mu se wo nya ho to nti se na ti ha na me
Go TV channel 121 and free to air and pay
ntiawa na ne eko na hwato arthritis migraine tiaria entimin koda afei sa yade amabobo dini na dia bako pe ama adroida sonko ne se apart from so de yes so na ekono wobi a wanya stroke mutie ne ye obi a wanya stroke ebubu pad wagu honum unya yom heba ayi heba loshi bi eno di chuchu so a wo kase no anase wonti no amu asisi ama akofa stroke ndi aba babia tutu ni nano ebenya ne nyano no amwasi odada mu sese no ena ekwa na obia etobie etihwe yom heba lotion etira kwan na osutobi na ope bako atu ope bako ato akwa yusu anape no doso puatu akwa koton a frɛ number we sisi a 024 4730 295 024 4730 and 0302 945 146 030 945 146 emu bia no ofra yebeje so na yama obi ato na onso age wa yaresa police ni na duro no aye fa no boost herbal mixture boost herbal mixture ni de bi na maboba na medete ha sei na enansuo no toto pint tontom ebeka kofa malaria ne dia ba typhoid fever ebasa no a enuano adwonko an yedie bia na wo pentem aduane akoto yeyi adwo na akoto ye bisusu a wato de esi honom ba wunya nya bra obetimi aka ne hye bia me no kasa kra unu oven wo adwumam anase ba bia wonte aduane adwo nti se pisa me mpraduasa se ade bi na agya ne na ade agusu obetimi akwakofa sabolina ena wudi ebeka akwafa typhoid dia bra wa unim hu hia so obenom imbuster ba mixture se de be ya se saade we bi ukofa mu a malaria na sa typhoid ni entimi ekra na imbuster ba mixture de aba bedi asem e de amaye ebe boost your immune system no am your immune system na ye strong se de be ya yare bi ti say malaria me body no typhoid fever pressure obi a pressure wo so ya ka to say pressure ni aduro sinipa no hu imbuster ba mixture eba bedi asem de amawo ebe pam pressure na ko ama anuane a yatwa wa doctor se meni no obetimi adi ama okra ba ho afa gonorrhea ene etete wo pane wo wiase na gonorrhea ni timi nkoye imbuster ba mixture syphilis ulcer yare ulcer bi wo wiase bia imbuster no betu te edi ama stroke waist pains sis yare a etete wo sis yare no de bia ye miamia wo de akọ ehihene am ye do afafa fidie mu still ayi sitiare yi etete wo wanu nuo wa hodo ni na enu kwase nuo utu nuo gu ni paduam sa ebekwa kofa susu aso da che dia bro nom imbuster ba mixture ne to ase mfama ho na mre kidney problems ene ye brebomu problems eye imbuster ba mixture ene betu ase dia ma no so men kan kire se yare bi bubo di ni na bia na mu ni bi na mo betimi aboho ban abra sa yare no ebi emma unipaduamu etu hia imbuster ba mixture na etu yare na se edi amount na enano na mu bisa se imbuster ba mixture ye ne wo boga ne woti regime ne ewani ye benya bia to ye ne de enye na ho uko ti regina ye de bia ba ho wa boga tamale na okaishi drag lane ewo nkrahase su ubenya bia to enano na mu bisa se bokon so yes ukọ boko akala med pharmacy onu low cost road eno so ubenya bi ato enti hwe imbuser ba Mr. Tirakwan ne kope ebito na ope ba ko ato akonom anase ope dodo atu akoton a number ye 024 620 8496 024 620 8496 mamitimu biem 024 620 8496 imbuster ba mixture ye bonum rane police ni nadro no you should be to na eje ofa hudie edefri yare beje pa onum say bind the program bia ba ye fani feed Ghana National Feed Ghana program eno ye policy kese pa abind dia banne ye bedi hu komo pa ne the national coordinator Honorable Bright Dimoji or a former member of parliament at the Botiano English among from Yanan the Batch home komo a program Kessia pa Bediasem dia Maye as on my Ghana. But before that, my main campo sa Amalina Children's Haven a sunny a haven efamount. Now uyo bia na wafa ye funu fofro. Afa ye funa opa so ye fruno wafa no etintimwa uhia Amalina for Children's Haven ye obibia betimi amu ani age asopemfo ana obi a wawo foforo uhia Amalina na Amalina se men control say ye a skin care product eno o obatan no obi ho no mo wo a etimi kokofa ensa hodo bebre at the brano ema ne body ni ye kruche debi Amalina wo nuro anase body lotions a wo srasra ebetimi aboa ma obody na toso obi ahunu wansi wa ma ho ayefo eno ne Amalina ene ye wo organic body clothing esusu e wo hono mu a eno so betimi e de aka body no ama ye edi yi ato yi e de ama afi Amalina se odi akora de ba beto ho anyame ye wadomu a akora de beto ho no akora na afi no wa hyase a owiawia sa no a otimi koso bibi mu na wapagya ne mu na abu na so ho enkura nyame na bɔ mo ho ban enye de bia na yɛse yɛka saa de no sɛ nyame na bɔ mo ho ban da bi ebu ho akora bi ho a wo wia no wotimi ebɛhwe fam na ne ti abɔ ho afei obenyini no na afei ekofa yade bi no man kitinkiti bi at the brand nu kwasa yesa na malina say what the headgear at the aba your 9392177 059392177 and I 05016724445 05016724445 and I say 05016724446 emubia no fra ye bejo so ne kwakwa be 0554214510 0554215410 Amalina Children's Haven friend number we sisi a na no mu ninkita ho na obi bia wo hia edefa enkora ho bia no ene nkora no ma ayeton no omontade omopoboa omosocks headgear ene nnuo ni bibia no sa ope bia koto na ma ofie aye dese wawo anaso wafa yafunu no eno nso so ewo ho anaso opedodo na atuo na so akwa koton a to shampoo conditioner hair food any base ano so no ye di dware yetimo obi apampa mu party se media bi no wo hia bi e de dwarum ama otrini na afu kama na se mi mu bi na kenye na me yibu timpa na mentimi tira no me sha se me di chocho shampoo conditioner ni hair food no any base ano e de dware bitirim no enne etimi tira no kama fe ho a wo tirim wotino emu kekawo akokwa feed ya ba tirim edue whatever udware udi chocho shampoo conditioner ni bi edware utirimu a ebetu ase de ma chocho soap no so madika ka ho asem dada ene chocho food cream afei wo yi mpaboa de to hono mu a enka ebam enuka so socks no o socks de enta nya fi trouser ne guso ene mpaboa so ehyem etu socks wo yi de to hono mu a enuka se socks de bia wo change socks de bi at least utimi share bia 2 days ebetimi aboa na enam se seven produce wo hye kakra bia na enka abamunti no ama de bia wo change socks o yire de bia no ko de bia weekend no so a otimi see socks ahodo makomako 8 anasa 7 ni kwa se ebasa wo se fachocho foot cream ni bi fasasa onaw eba moisturize no eyinkani na e de afim di amaw na ope ba ko atu the product amebubo so na ope ba ko atu akoyusu anase ope dodo atu akwakoton a friend number we sisi a 0551 815388 0551815388 and 0244727348 0244727348 and 0243482253 0243482253 and 050455535 050455535 chocho ofreya bibia obiano yene obeka Okay, it's 9:02 still live on Kessben Maakye Dumedi so na sabre ejabo ejanya babedu honorable Bright Dimoji aba betrase wa former member of parliament Adema Botiano English a man from aba betrase honorable Abba na honorable na the national coordinator Adema Feed Ghana program and I say Feed Ghana program policy no ewo the Ministry of Agric aba beken say honorable Mwakwaba
Eja menya michia otie program
ya hwe wanu sa wadi u breso pa na sabre ya no honorable Edin komono betimi akọ Facebook obeka che ho na ya kenkan o message ne edi abroad je wonti ase bia no frɛ honorable tro efa ko Facebook ya bekenkan dia ma afei obetimi afa afon no akọ WhatsApp frɛ number we sisi a 0550596929 0550596929 obetimi do message
food and job any Feed Ghana on the Feed Ghana no is anchored on a very important infrastructure we are going to establish. We are in the process of doing procurement and we what we call the farm service centers. What it means is even looking at the farm service center concept alone, it differentiated between they plant it for food and feed Ghana. The plan is that every district establish it. Farm service centers, and it's an infrastructure consists of agricultural mechanization center,
farm
service center. Ukohwa, upe tractor, there will be a warehouse or for tractors, combine harvesters, boom sprayers. Nyama ye hiya nyina a ye be ye kwadwuma no nyina wo ho. Ofriwa, you have an input warehouse. You the fertilizer free porter and Accra ha begu ho in every district. Agrochemicals, seeds warehouse bewo ho. The enya fe season de bedu ansa na obi we free from Accra Minister of Agric say you the fertilizer koha, you koha. So it will be a coordinated program, even in the dry season, planning and implementation of agric project, cost. Because in these our programs, we don't have that kind of structures, even in our district, you so started to you have one tractor, one track of fertilizer, you have one called Western region, you have one called Eastern region, and no. A major part of agriculture in this country is rain-fed.
Yeah.
And in so to we pay, who delay pay, not so we pay, you cannot meet your targets. Most of our major commodities are here consuming Ghana. We are in deficit. Common tomatoes. We use over $400 million to import tomatoes. Jenny, onion. $300 million annual basis. Food import bill alone for Ghana, over $2 billion annually. I look at human resource. We have a youth population. We have fertile land. We have nice water bodies. We can use to produce to feed ourselves. And the feed Ghana there, a kwembia yebe fasobia ebe ye Ghana to be food sufficient. Our focus is a kwembia yebe fasobia to feed Ghanaians at the minimum cost. Ebibeka, ebe feed the industry. Sa the ebe feed industry after pre-processing and processes you bet me export this anyamano eko amanoneno ene juma na yedi. Look at poultry alone. Poultry 350 million annually, US dollars annually. You got a minimum said they be at at least you travel to villages, and I also me a queen, and I'm me free a crash. I'm from a village. I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
Unim said tama no. Those days no. Ebe ma wakoko. You will pay na ide akoko ba akwa ma. Say we wudia. So you take care of that fowl.
Yeah.
During Xmas time no. Na ye chi ba akwa na mi no. Na ya koto. Na dia so atade ama. O papa die no. No ma bi de na mechi. Sometimes daytime want to be cheno, evening time and daytime na ma chase no. Na ma ko cheno. Mako na medi obi an cocoa store ekoto akoko foods by ne me catch did Esther. You can imagine the quantity of requests say you di akoko foods e Ghana. The value of US dollars are sisa from CD to dollars are di come on ne ekoto akoko foods e Ghana no. It's alarming. Very much alarming. Enu ya no more Burkina Faso. Hona ye kofa tomatoes. Hona ye kofa Jenny. To compare our land and the climate comparably. And Forget about planting for food and job. Planting for food and job is just one concept. Input subsidy program. For fertilizer, any seed. No matter so. No matter Maakye for. It's just a small aspect of Feed Ghana. Small aspect of Feed Ghana. Then they planted for food and job. From 2017 to 2024, then for fertilizer. Every day importers were no matter so. No more Maakye for. Even sometimes the distribution is not effective. And from records, you can check. Say almost if fertilizer no, almost do boku any part of the upper east and upper west that those animals, camels, almost cross the borders. Much in Ghana who are attempting to travel to smuggle the fertilizer across the country. So even the distribution of input alone,
okay. So
even when the World Bank Commission to look into the operations of planting for food and job, when we say it's just an input subsidy program, and it doesn't work on the whole agricultural value chain.
I see.
I'm got to seed, kakrebi now they are Maakye for. I'm got to fertilizer now at a subsidized rate, and then planting for food and job. No, that's not what Feed Ghana is about. I will take my time. I'm a check.
Okay.
Because we don't even want to delay time. I can tell you, sir, by the middle of May, the policy document will be out on Feed Ghana. Because I can realize that even after 7 years, almost 6 years, a policy on planting for food. They tell you, but they the real document, what really planting for food and job is about. I will bet you a Peru document to know what are the monitoring evaluation measures are. Some measure programs no crano anyhow. And in 2023, almost program said they have realized that they change it to planting for food phase 2.
Oh, but
if you look at the review,
planting for food and jobs now, so the phase 2 of it.
Yes.
Say code the phase 2 maybe we're able to meet our demands and I say a target in the first 2-3 years. But the next year you code the phase 2 to tackle another year. But we'll come to that.
No, let me answer that question. Let me explain to you. Any policy document, if there's an initial policy document, it will tell you when the review will take place. A bet trail that we are going to run these policies for 4 years. After the 4 years.
So there was no policy document.
That's how come they
back a planting for food and jobs.
I'm running program for 7 years. And so now review. Document ben na say after 7 years and so now review policy. No. It's a knee-jerk reaction. And so yes, there will be document like the May is here. No. I can tell you by end of May, you see a fresh document. Media for stakeholders in agriculture will have that document to measure at the end of the 4 years. Measure said living on annual basis because there will be measure KPIs. I say a meeting on annual basis, and from the word go no, any year it will be showing from the first year, and the answer I do 4 years no. Me ankasa met me assess me who say the may no eko year na enko year.
Okay.
So now, that's the difference. Apart from that, you see an infrastructure.
Okay.
In every district, you see an infrastructure.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But
today, planning for food and job. Which district will you go in this country? Who infrastructure? We know a warehouse for planting for food and job.
Okay.
Then
so Mamusa, Oshe free senior high school policy now. There was no a policy document and a backing. We're told say in fact ye can't be near bo abina say there wasn't any clear cut policy document and a backing. But abine we buy we maintaining the free senior high school with the same name free senior high school. Despite say 1 or 2 things be also about obeshemu kena no nche de akufo ado ye but no maybe wo hono mo a obeyi de free hono se ne be ya free senior high school no be strong. Okay, so you maintain the free senior high school, then the planting for food and jobs and so e wo hono. And I'm say mobile the farm service center and other things that we're talking about, you add it to it. Add into the yentimi maintaining the planting for food and jobs, and so that all this are no man baba count with the policy document a baby for bet me asaba betwaso rather than say ye be ye dini dear free honum neaka kofa different name ye feed Ghana program. You understand? Na afi abai for ba ni e raise that concept no ni asakwa kofa no for send ye maintaining the word free senior high school I was see ano identity na ye maintaining planting for food and jobs which equally ni na have the policy document and a back no nanka mo de mo wo no yen fan keka ho nanka ye move forward as a country.
Fantastic idea, but free senior high school is a constitutional name. A constitutional name.
That's a pre-secondary education.
Yes. A constitutional name. And who's sana but planting for food a job, any Feed Ghana program, no, the degree of variance now is huge. The percent ye the agriculture year, any the planting for food a year no, the difference no is huge because our concentration and he say one. I say me starting me kind the war Feed Ghana under.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first one, and you know, I say media started bad because of the okay, you know. We want to ignite Ghanaians. Say, Kwejumano, and yet omo shata there. Say, and let me go foam. Anunkwana omo say mo ye Kwejuma. So that is why we are inviting institutional farming.
Kessben 92.9 FM.
National service. We are putting national service into huge commercial farming. Yeah, we are supporting national service. And doing the launch now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, why a huge donation to national service. We have invited prison service. We are supporting Ghana prison service to go into huge commercial agriculture plantations. The amount of tractors, all the input, as I say, universities, coming from University of Science and Technology, they are on board. University of Ghana, they are on board. And we are calling on, we are in a collaboration with the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education. Say, all the secondary schools in Ghana should start farming. Those days, we used to have school farms.
Yeah.
We are bringing back. And we are collaborating with Ghana Education Service and the ministry. Say every school they should go back into what? Agriculture.
Yeah, we've been saying this all this while. Say bet me abuama even the school feeding program na krano they be at the buffer stock no what ton.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And just this year, we have put a lot of money into buffer stock. Say because your name say you started sanya money buffer stock must go into its original. The reasons are establishing buffer stock.
What is the reason for it?
The reason for it is to mop up excess produce in a system. So you buona ekwefono na omudo na nyamano like there's a increase in production and there's excesses na buffer stock for no na omato aguho.
Wow.
So what I say? Yeah. How we call it food security. The talk na time no who's a price no air cost ra na buffer stock are releasing into the system so that the price will be stable. That's the purpose of buffer stock. And the buffer stock is not an engine or organization to buy food and distribute to schools. So what I say, open yamana buffer stock where the schools can make a request. But the essence of buffer stock and this year to have a reserve as a country. When we say for a very long time, can I full reserve? Which is dangerous. And then a small dry spell, no, about late part of 2024, no, we have to go and import food. And can you stock? security stock who will go and import? Because I bet baby and you won't go now when you have problems. So
Yeah.
and who need any stock or who need any buffer or that's why it's buffer. Buffer means that idea who chiwa na makofa. Who chiwa na kofa.
Safe.
Yes.
Safe.
But we don't have it. But this year, yama muska because we are expecting say I mean boy na nyama ye dia to ho say ye ni ye. Yeah, definitely there will be an increase in production. That's why we don't want farmers to suffer. Because we say anytime at all there's a bumper harvest, no, farmers suffer. But we don't want them to suffer. So it is come and buffer stock. Say be on the lookout. The moment prices start coming down drastically, go into the market, buy so that the price can be stable for our farmers. So that next year, no, make me adore. Because we understand that price never down too much, the farmers will lose. They will not make profit. So, no, the moment they don't make profit this year, next year, no, and they'll make you. So you have to check. You have to take care of your farmers at the same time take care of the population. So that the piano, uko Ghana Statistical Service, when we say the composition of or the contribution of food inflation alone. At any time, from 2000 and 2021 up to today, who watching the statistics now, when we say the contribution of food inflation to the national inflation, no, is higher than the national average. Which means that we are not producing enough food to feed our people. So, ensure say we feed our people. No? That is my job. So we are starting with a concept that we call the SMART.
The SMART.
Yes, smart agriculture. Unim the entire imported tomatoes into this country. Unim the entire.
Debbie.
Very simple. We cannot be able to research and identify seeder. Ebetimia idiama equifona. Ubetimia planted tomatoes throughout the year.
Okay.
Nti unya seed, hybrid seed, and that seed that ever to me standing the weather conditions from January to December. I can tell you, they can produce tomatoes without importation.
Wow. So there are different kinds of seeds.
Yes.
And your season beyond the S would ubenya a bumper harvest.
No, generally no. Tomatoes is a weather crop. As a certain temperature in the night to give tomatoes an opportunity to bring out flowers. At the same time, want to weather conditions now. When you have flowers now beba down. And in agronomy we call it flower abortion.
Wow.
It is for the plant to fruit, in this certain level of temperature in the night.
Yeah.
And one condition, the seed, to the extent say, obet me stand this level of temperature now. Ube planting in a way. But the do time now, I say, FR4, conditioning is not right. And to who say, the tomatoes will be very green, nice, but who need tomatoes be here. That is what Burkina is using against us. That is why those countries almost Sahel, but night temperatures can fall to the level say they can be able to get fruit on their tomato farms. So we also need to research and come up with hybrid seeds. Using from January to December. So the target is to get my farmers a seed that they can use from January to December.
Yeah.
We call it smart agriculture.
Yeah.
So your president George Dramani Mahama we're going to agriculture will be backed by what? Science. And we are conditioning researchers and the breeders to look into how seeds are high yielding and climate resistant seeds. I bet me boya maybe I say you do no ebetimi edu. So first of all, we are acquiring seats, hybrid seats are ebetimi abo ekuafono. So as we speak, we are doing a serious procurement on seats. I had ebetimi ama ekuafono a wetimi ado from January to December. And one. Secondly, input. And then I establishing the farm service centers now. A hono as a farmer ukowa seed bia upe. Input bia upe. Ebe boao. Now one ya. So that the farmers will not face problem. So the key issue of agriculture, any seed, unya seed, any the right input there. You don't even need to expand your farm. In agriculture, we call it intensification. They say 1 acre na udona. They say unya 5 bags. But unya the right seed, unya the right input there. Ubet double your yield just by the same size of land. And now you're friend of smart agriculture. So ensuring say Equiafono almost using the right seeds, any the right input nkwano, ubet double your yield. So these are your first steps. Then we are taking meticulous step to ensure say seed are able to, seed are able procure, seed are able distribute, import are able to equiaphone a quality, a climate resistance are able to make equiaphone able the higher yield. And then you one, and then your friend smart agriculture. Then we move to the second level, grains and legumes development. The Kanjana.
Yeah, honorable best of Fachame, or honey, your baba honor. Save that. But my new room has how are you bet me a dear tomatoes with a higher quantity of beer, young co Burkina Faso, and co import. In fact, what church them were at Tasum come. It tells me that wouldn't dear way. You understand? As for the city of Cocoa Fosus young farmer there, I can vouch for the Cocoa Kitty program, which
and look right one and
one.
Yeah, and smoke right.
But fine. But let me say these are some of the things I putting in place to keep the situation. Now, talking about rice, which we consume in this country than even the maize product. Then the rice, the last time I'm saying 98,000 metric tons I imported from Abuche de Bar, this country. Now, 1.9 billion Ghana cedis. Ekudin kofo kwanso. Eno so ni ade consume pa. E de na ban no wo se ne wo kire tomatoes die mu. Se tomatoes no your weather condition your seed ni bi wo ha the rightful seed ni a se de mo ne ade no tomatoes die no wa chichirim afi de nkokon ketenketi project mem de bia me chichim a enkofo bebre nim ama honorable Eric ye Venice opokukura man kofo afrema manu omedi won kom pan ye ne ade na how ben na mobetimia how you going to what are you going to do to ensure say your rice no as 98,000 metric tons no by the first 2 years you betimia reduce amana by bia 40,000 ade de by kwan ye fa so betimia yes ade no rice nkwan wasa na pesa uchi
the same thing. First one, seed.
And also a seed.
Quality one, and the first one.
Rice be on seed.
Yes. Quality seed. And here one. And you need the right seed. I will use here. Seed behind the yield. And the sourcing and the insurance say if you have no good seed, quality seed no. And then key.
Yeah.
Only the way I ukasa, the way we unyama, we size, the way I will see you unyama nyina is from your parent.
Yeah.
And he seed no. So what I say,
yeah.
They will be watch you pa the way I would do yelmanya, if you watch you papa now uncle bia. Because no, this guy is from this family. And the seed is the foundation of Ibia. But before the seed, no, land preparation. And then I set up farm service centers, no, agriculture. The first thing you're mentioning, agriculture mechanization center.
Agriculture mechanization center.
Then from the tractor, you want to do rice. You want a certain type of tractor. Would be here because normally it's waterlogged areas. The whole you need that kind of equipment. So what as I say no. Even planting, we need planters. And yeah, there it's just spread the rice on the field. Certain type of planters are straightening the way rice no ube planting rice no. Even the equipment that year fertilizer applications. It would usan spread the fertilizer against obia all the machines and now udi drone spreading the fertilizer. Difference will.
Hey, honorable.
Everywhere.
Honorable.
And see, the key point, and he said, there's a project that we are running.
Okay.
To improve the irrigation. It's a major component of the Feed Ghana program.
Yeah. Messages.
Agriculture for wealth creation. Agriculture for wealth creation. Irrigation for wealth creation.
Okay.
What the meaning say? All the irrigation facilities, majority of them, it will turn them into agricultural zones. Areas are every year rice growing areas. We have every equipment. In that area, we provide it for them. And then, as we are speaking right now, all the equipment we want to make sure say there is no agriculture equipment in our warehouse.
Okay.
Upe equipment dia a warehouse. Upe say uba ministry agric engineering. We don't want any equipment to lie idle. There you will be equipment. Let all of them to go to the field.
To work, yes. On about time, no, a BTA pa, wow, man. But a lot of questions, messages, by Brennan to me reading now. For Fanche, a brace seminar, best Shama honorable about Fatam and Confoso Boa Basopa, Mammy Charitia. Now, ye call quickly, yen touch with it before near Yanko. Planting for food and jobs, me observe what DB. 208, 209, 2018 and 2019-2020 before COVID in we experienced a bumper harvest. But one thing I may observe when say, though near nya bumper harvest, but na kale wole ne boarding. You get me? Na banku that time na cry food and jobs ne nya maye. Na banku ni on near sisi bono, but ye nya bumper harvest na no na aduane boye dey. Meanwhile, because of that, because of say, the exported the code nearby countries, you get me? Say cassava, plantain, no munenya, no mudia, obianya, no de cocopeska. I feel not the ohase no, I yes, case, and not yet that's what ye ABCD mu. And then I bind the buyer to solve this situation because we cannot sit here near Feed Ghana project. Near we are near Sissan near the Burkina Faso. Yes, a son near the Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, a son near the Sierra Leone, Liberia, Togo. I feel near Tiasino, and we are no born about the Eddie Amai.
And yet the bonnet say ube produce in excess.
But
the here and say u produce na a broso. I say pre-process and process. How now ubenya usika free for export. Pre-process and process. So what I say?
Yeah.
What it means they say, you find say we rubber, we cashew, we mango. Now the raw mango no, obi abefa raw mango, and now cocoa, now the Cote d'Ivoire, now the Togo, now Akoto. You are losing. But okay. Process cocoa now into chocolate, and now process cashew now into something else. And now we call amanonia. A hono ubenya foreign exchange, because the Feed Ghana project, there's a component feed the industry. So, but the key one is that we have to feed ourselves first.
Yeah, And
so
no one
feed Ghana.
And no one said, I'm no can. Watermelon. O kwa gogo ne mpatamwa. Watermelon and then kofo chede ko Liberia ne other countries no. Honorable, I'm telling you. So ye free say planting for food and jobs. Though na staples ne enka ho. But ye nya bumper harvest. Watermelon was all over the place. But fe na watermelon ni twa no ye free 2 cedis ko 3 cedis. Afie free 3 cedis ko 5 cedis. Asani ye twa watermelon. Eso ebu our this country. So at the end, I'm not talking about the seed and the process now. Yeah, I'm talking about the food. A buy se washada say ye pese bugana. Afie be kona nkoko kiti eke. Afie no na is to keep the situation of 800 metric tons na ye koka crowd free abroche ba no. I be solve that problem. Ye ton ye nya ne hawi afie ne the court the neighboring countries. Afie na still na board in Ghana. Eno ho asem na make say ese aban ne hwe saade no. Esa de na anye project no kwa na keye. Ya anye program ne kwa na keye. Ye be ye ne dia command kofo kwade ne ya discard. En net say ya anye kwa na ye ne ye nwene oman no ho. Ese say bi come marketer. Bi yisika kitua bi come marketer. Ese mi timi paduane na me kai say aban the policy bi aba. Ye fe no operation feed Ghana project. And no na ma benefit ya na metimi to bode baako betem bia be ton 5 cedis and I say a 2 for 5 cedis metimi aton continuously for 3 years. You understand? But yes sabode ni dia de Cote d'Ivoire me metre hato sa bode no metre hato sa bode no e bia 15 cedis na Cote d'Ivoire ni ton lesser than what I buy it here. So
I know a policy issue. Say unze ye ka se here aban no betimi aka say okay ansana odi ebro ebeko Cote d'Ivoire ada obeko any other country no e say without permit. It without permit it's an illegal activity.
Yeah.
So the rest depends on our security agencies.
Yeah.
So what I say, and no they say I don't
know. You have to be deeply involved. It should be a policy.
No policy when a bino issue policy. Yeah. A bino we have other organs or institutions are the executive arms of government. Me Mejuma to ensure say I produce to feed the country. No, I can't be the same person protecting the borders of this country. It will be is it somebody's responsibility. Say abano say ansana odi ebrobe free Ghana eko Togo and eko Nigeria eko Burkina no
ye brenaso
e say onya permit. So the issue is that the responsibility must go to the security omo aye ma musika at the end of every man say they should protect our borders, ensure say our rules and our laws are fully in operations. No because for me me dadwe ni say ekwan me be fa so bia ekwafo djuma no e be koso e be produce niam bebre to feed this country no and e ma keep me da and na me dadwe
ona ba metiase pa ye brena so ye brena e ye me ya papa because enkomo no e de ene no ma me wo kan say ka me bisa no e dos na honorable woti adwuma na se enye me nwanwa se wo ne ye de se adwuma ye de ma wo tira asem ni mu ye me yete ase ena wonim dia wo ye we nye square peg ye very say can square peg in the round hole. Square peg in the round hole. What your adwuma na se pa wo no bi a wo ye different field bi ni akotam say ye be church say ye wo ye the rightful person o ma panyini yes we are agronomist and say we make say gusa akwa na say e wa adwuma no ona bo why ade congratulations why ade papa na me bo abaso na ye bompa say nya me be toast to pade aguso na program no aso do so because ene se me yi 100 cedis na me cook drum na bitimi to edidigu ma free so me ya eno na mani beje eno na me frame ho say yes me te Ghana na yenka ye o final word na yenko for sports
yo me da say feed Ghana programs no enye me ne honorable Eric Opokudia Ghana for program enti yes rew bia we a journalist we a teacher new duma bia we bia wo asase wo fie fire garden was asase a wo bia wo area bia hu say if a hofo no bisa nipa no nefa bia nya garden won fie because the cost of vegetable alone we you can crave you feel now they reduce it will reduce your income.
Honorable, I hear me ya pass here. Yay!
Enti Miss Ghana phobia, we have no shame, especially institutions. Institutions, secondary schools, churches, particular. Last time me call here, and I make count the number of churches against the number of schools. The churches are more than the schools.
Wow.
And this all the churches on my instructions say all the branches no be a ye fuma. Kadani abe sikrum hano. Endimindi.
Okay.
To be the leadership of all the churches in Ghana. Sunu started talk. The Serbia go and look for a plot of land and start something.
All right. Go and look for a plot of land.
Unya problem bia ye wo ministry ho frame uko director of agriculture ho obe frame e kwa be fa so bia be bua ho no e be bua.
Okay, honorable, thank you very much. Honorable Bright Dimoji, former member of parliament and Mabotiana English man from and what is saying in a train common on a national coordinator at the Feed Ghana project no and as a policy on my penny at the Abanon. Now honorable gold board and cocoa board omo collaborate say omo the best security agencies in the beya will be for gold enter and a Ghana cocoa board so omo nyesa ntimuso mo nyesa de no mamu nyama security agencies ne kwa be dey say ebetimi abo. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, happy birthday to Susie Mafu. Susie Mafu, yay! Oba Susie, such a beautiful woman. Nyankopon ka ho ati we every Desmond ho and was see we show happy birthday. And there you are, yay! I like your swag, Susie. Happy birthday to you. And a happy birthday to Mami Esi Owa Amakom Kumase. Yeah, swagger mama. Yeah, man. Mami Esi, Nyankopon ka ho ati. Amanya kese kopem se obeye kese pa we efri nana say owo obom so bo ho and I see emfa we say emfa ma. Happy birthday to you, Ma Esi. One is Suzy Ma for munina. Yes, Nyankopon shira edemamo. Nyankopon ba munya kese kopem se mboye kese pa. From Nana Frimpong Ziega. And someone me ka ni na. Ene dia me cheche munina eye Mr. Apia Richard Sapon ene kuche nsem ni na edugu nkrata so ede emame afei the technician on duty and so the big yak one Anansi Amos ka ho bi ene omobo ema ye chinchim omuchinchim fidie ne ede ma ye from Nana Frimpong Ziega diam ya dom wochna ye besa ehia sarete mo amode message ba ya mentimi ankan na mo fanche panyami ya domo china ebede hu dwuma ade amamo. And a special dedication to you, Abbas Amogobo, incoming MC Edema Offensive South District and as a municipal. Maybe I'll be a chachao. Bye bye.
92.9 FM.
This is 92.9. Radio station.
Akasa no makasa French and wo bien anu awobo ajo. Asana na ho febia wani bono so awira.